Hey there everyone, it's Anthony, back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi, hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Today we're here at the Westminster Hills Open Space to give this little Apo boy some exercise. Give me some exercise. Just gonna cruise around here, try to get a couple miles put in. Today is Saturday the 14th? 15th? Yes, Saturday the 14th. And we were out today already on a walk. We had a showing at the house today, so we had to be out of the house. So I already took him on a walk, and then I wanted to find a place to set up my computer so I could do some video editing while they were doing the showings. And I went to one place that we normally go to called Bottles and Barrels, and they were packed. Then we went to this Mexican restaurant just down the street that has a patio, but their patio is still closed for the season. So we had to bail there. I was like, I just need a table outside where I can sit and edit videos. I'm not necessarily even that hungry. I just wanted an outside patio for us to go hang out, and maybe I could connect to Wi-Fi or something. So I ended up at Sonic, America's Drive-In, and got a drink there and sat for about an hour and a half and just did video editing. But it was very windy. It's still windy. So I ended up having to use an AI voiceover for just talking about the colors for an unboxing. And that unboxing is currently processing, so it'll be funny to see what people think of that. It gives you the option to use your own voice, but I clicked on it, and obviously I would have to record saying various phrases and words and stuff, but it was too windy, so I couldn't use the microphone. So I just had to pick one of their preloaded ones. So I might upload my voice to that way if something like that ever happens again or whatever, I can use my own voice for that. But yeah, it was pretty funny. Oh, he is full on sniffs. He couldn't even make it all the way back to me before something else caught his attention. So anyway, so that happened yesterday. I went out and saw a movie with Matt and Ben. It was bad. And then we went and got a couple drinks at Wrigley's. We were going to sing karaoke, but they stopped doing karaoke, which was a bummer. So then we went to Ace High to do karaoke, but the vibe there was just really I really don't like it there. I don't know why I keep trying to go there. Don't really like it there. And so I don't even think we had a drink there. We stayed for like 5 minutes and was like, let's get out of here. So we left. They're like, let's go to the Eagle or let's do something. And then Ben was like, I do have to work in the morning. And Matt's like, oh, I totally forgot. And I was like, let's just call it. It's already 9:30. Let's just call it. Let's go home and everyone get some rest. And everyone was like, okay. So I came upstairs and diamond painted for a little bit. I got, I think, 2 sections done on my Margaret Morales and went to bed, and that was that. So then this morning got up, hung out, a little bit, ran some folded laundry up and down, tidied up the house a bit, filmed 2 unboxings. My Look kits came in, so filmed those 2 unboxings. By the time that was all done, it was time to pack up and head out for the showings. So once that was done, came back, started uploading the videos I had edited, at Sonic, and now here we are. So yeah, not a super eventful a day, just some bouncing around, but it's been nice. It's very pretty out today. It looks like we might have some weather coming up over the mountains, some rain or something, which would be really nice if we could get some weather. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. Okay, so we're gonna start there. If we have time to get to comments or other things like my diamond painting stuff, we'll talk about that at the end of the walk, but I just want to get right to it. So we're going to be talking about small shops today and a couple different things. So if you know, in doing research for our shop list and for the podcast, I have been uncovering or finding new to me shops, both all over, internationally, all over the world. Bunch of new shops, which has gotten me super excited and wanting to step outside of my little bubble. It was really Janet and Mystical Dream Diamonds that was my first step outside of I only shop from these few shops places, and it's just kind of snowballed from there of wanting to try new shops again. And I think not only will it help me to see, some new stuff and new changes and upgrades that, shops are making, but also it'll be helpful to have some more stuff to talk about on the podcast as I work on new shops. So that was kind of the impetus for it. So we have a list of, I want to say 60 plus shops, maybe pushing 70 shops on our shop list. So I think the first thing that'll just be an easy thing to just say is, and I got a comment. I responded to it directly and probably a little curtly, but it's a subscriber that has been around for a long time. Love them, but I wanted to be very clear with my response, and I didn't want to read the comment or say who it was or anything. So I just responded via text, We'll let that be that. But I want to let you guys know my thoughts and feelings on it. So, when we're looking at shops that sell diamond painting kits, we're looking internationally, or I'm searching internationally, and I love finding ones that nobody's been talking about or aren't super common, or do offer international shipping but haven't really made it outside of the country of origin that much in terms of popularity, and finding their TikToks or Instagrams. And Artie's been a really good resource. She's actually found some videos that I had not found because she's searching in that language, which I should have thought about. Like, okay, if I'm looking for a Korean shop, I should try to do my YouTube searches in Hangul, in Korean. I just, for whatever reason, hadn't thought. Well, I had asked ChatGPT to do it, but it didn't do a very thorough job because I already found something. But anyway, so you're going to be seeing a ton of that on this channel, both diamond painting shops, accessory shops. You're going to see us interviewing, or see Mia and I on the podcast interviewing shops from around the world as well. In fact, we already have outside of the US small shop that we've completed an interview with them. No spoilers. So there's going to be a lot of international products and content on this channel. And so with that being said, if you have a problem with that, I'm just going to give you fair warning that you're going to be seeing a lot of it. A lot of it. You're going to see me highlighting diamond paintings from Korea here soon, like within the next couple of weeks. You're going to be seeing interviews from shop owners, artists outside of the US. So if that is bothersome for you, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I wouldn't want someone here that has a problem with that anyway. If your personal feelings are that shops or businesses that are foreign to you or outside of the US are a red flag or less trustworthy, I strongly disagree. I strongly disagree. Every business, every shop, no matter where they hail from, has the opportunity to prove themselves by what they provide, what they sell, what they provide. And they have the opportunity to prove themselves. And what I'm looking for, I would never put a blanket statement saying anything that is foreign to me or outside of the US inherently is less trustworthy or suspicious. Absolutely not. There are diamond painting shops, businesses out there that have poor business practices or trying to pull one over on unsuspecting customers, but that exists everywhere. Just because someone looks different than you or comes from a different place than you does not mean that they are inherently problematic. So I will have none of that. I will not respond to any comments where someone is saying, "Ooh, I don't know, Koreans, Anthony, yikes." No, don't even play that with me. So I don't know how to be any more clear, but I will not accept those sentiments around here. If you personally feel that way and you only buy from US shops or from people that look like you or speak like you, great. Go live your life. But you're not going to bring those opinions and sentiments to my channel. That's crazy talk. No. So I just wanted to be very clear and direct on that. And in fact, my personal opinion is that, I haven't shopped very much internationally in my time, but, I've been burned before by international shops and US shops, and if I'm not mistaken, there is currently a recently closed small shop hailing from the US that has collected payments from a bunch of customers, but has not delivered on providing those products and has given everyone kind of the cold shoulder and silent treatment for months now. So don't come to me saying because somebody's from Japan that they might be a scam. I can give you way more examples of US-based shops pulling some kind of business. So let's not go there. I just wanted to be clear. I don't mean to come off as crass, but that's just that gets to me. It gets me fired up. So anyway, all shops that if I decide that yes, I'm going to plunk down my credit card or make a purchase, then what you see here on the channel is going to be the content and reviews and my own opinions about that stuff. And every shop will get the same sniff test regardless of where they hail from or what they look like or what language they speak. That's just the bottom line. I don't walk into a situation with any sort of preconceived notions or, ooh, I'm extra cautious about purchasing from this shop because this is where they call home. No. If I get burned from an international shop, I get burned, but I would never say the reason that I got burned is because they are Korean. That's crazy. So anyway, all right, moving on from that topic. So I wanted to engage a little bit about what it means, what legally licensed means, and the evolution of that. So our original shop list was simply called legally licensed shops. But what I'm finding is got a little bit of pushback in regards to shops that have all their own in-house pieces, images, artwork, whatever you want to call them. Getting pushback saying, for example, Look Art, which I just finished some unboxings, they do all of their artwork in-house. They don't say if that means they use AI tools or they have someone that does AI tools and then does touch-ups if there is a digital artist that is creating artwork for them. They don't say, and they don't necessarily have to say. All I need to see on their website is that it's either legally licensed or copyright free, and they state that. So I have to take that at face value, and I don't see anything on there that is a blatant and direct copy of another piece of artwork. And you can do reverse image searches and stuff if that helps you feel more confident. You absolutely can do those things. I don't know where my dog went. He's gone. He's gone. You can absolutely do those things if that makes you feel more comfortable or confident with your purchase. And I, honestly recommend taking those steps for sure. But our shop list is going to change. So I double checked with Mia if it's okay if we call it this. But I was like, people are getting a little tripped up, or a couple people have gotten tripped up with us using the term legally licensed, because some of these shops are just doing in-house copyright-free artwork. So can we change it to legally licensed / copyright-free to just cover the bases? And she said yes. So we're gonna make that change. I think she already did it. I'm not sure. I'll have to check when I get home. So we're gonna make that change. And that will allow us to put shops up there that do in-house artwork, or at the very least, we've confirmed that they're stolen artwork free. And if you have particular feelings on utilizing AI tools in an artwork process, that's your opinion, and you make your purchasing choices accordingly. But that list is not going to exclude shops that don't explicitly pay a third party, an artist separate from the shop, don't exclusively license and pay them commission. The list will include shops that do everything in-house. So just wanted to be clear on that. And I think there is a conversation to be had potentially with some small shops as we continue doing interviews of the legitimacy of that. Obviously, I personally think it is legitimate, but I know others do not. But the list will include both types of shops. Hi. Shops that license or pay commission, shops that do it in-house, or a blend of both. So just wanted to be clear on that, because if we just say legally licensed, that could lead people to believe that everything there is tied to an artist separate from the shop that gets paid a commission, and that's not always the case. So I think just for the sake of transparency, that'll be helpful. So those are kind of the two main topics that I wanted to bring up. And yeah, hopefully that just kind of, first one, set some guidelines, set some boundaries around talking about foreign shops. They're just shops. And then the other one, kind of creating some language to include the copyright-free artwork as opposed to legally licensed. And I'm fine creating that separation, if that's important for people. I'm comfortable creating that separation. I personally don't think it's necessary, as long as we've confirmed that there is not stolen artwork. Then I personally think that should be good enough, but I get that there's some, I understand this, the marketplace. Oh my gosh, I'm walking into the wind. Hopefully the microphone's not upset. I was hoping the wind would slow down after a second, but it is not. My goodness. Oh my word. Okay, hold on everyone. I'm gonna try to get to the top of this hill. Hold on. Come on, big boy. Come on, big boy. Are you making friends? Whew. Sorry. It was windy coming through that little valley and to hike up the hill. Hey. So yeah, those are kind of the two main things. And then the last thing I want to touch on, I think y'all already know this, but just to reiterate my stance, because what I think some things that might be changing now that we're doing the podcast is, we're talking with a lot of small shops, small businesses, which is exciting. And in doing that, during the recording, getting excited about product launches and new things coming, and I'm finding shops, for the very first time. So I get excited. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to place an order, have to do some shopping. And I'm not kidding, the past couple times, shop owners, because they're almost always very gracious and kind and, very sweet, are like, well, let us get something out to you, or do you want to be put on a PR list of some kind, or we'll get something out to you, don't you worry. And I'm like, My rule that I've created, well, it's but yes, that's fine. But my rule, for those that are unaware, if I am offered any sort of PR or free kit to try or whatever it is, I will accept if the terms work with how I create content. But I always have to buy something either alongside the thing that's being sent or before I agree to anything being sent. I want to be able to speak 100% freely, and not that I wouldn't be able to with something that's sent, but I personally feel more comfortable receiving a PR package if I have already purchased something from the shop and potentially already done an unboxing. It just makes me feel better about that exchange, that interaction, or that trade for, PR goods for an unboxing or whatever. So I will always place my own order and spend my own money either prior to or alongside anything that's been sent for review. I just think that's fair, not only to the shop. I think that's fair to you guys as well. Even if the thing that I work on first is the thing that was given, it still feels nice knowing that there's something sitting in my stash that I paid for. This isn't just 100% free. I don't know. And maybe people don't care, but that's just my own rule. Additionally, if something is sent to me to unbox or whatever, I feel a personal obligation. Again, even if the shop or business has not said that this is required, I feel a personal obligation to start working on that kit or kits immediately. If it's my first time receiving a product from that shop. So for instance, with Mystical Dream Diamonds, I got my PR kits in for unboxing, and I immediately started working on Spirit of the Rainbow, got it done in a few weeks. So I went from receiving it to finish and review. Now, I won't always be able to do that, of course, but that is always my intention or plan. Even if it's not the full kit, putting some sections, putting some drills down, kitting it up, getting some sections done is a priority. So for instance, I have my Fee Look kit coming in, Amaterasu, my third one, which is the collaboration kit. They've already given me a timeline of when they want videos to go up, so I can abide by that, and I will start working on that kit immediately. And ideally, just keep working on it till it's done. So that's something that I promise to do. That way the shop feels like the money they spent in sending out that kit is appreciated and respected by me providing the unboxing and the content, putting some drills down, giving my feedback, and ideally having a finish as soon as I can manage. I don't want to unbox kits and then relegate them to the garage, never to be heard from again until I do a D-stash. I don't want that. That means that when shops do interact with me, that ideally I get to have a say on what kits or artwork I receive, so it's something I'm actually, interested in. Hopefully, or at least, even then, it's like, as long as, it's diamond painting, I'll do it. But, there's something to be said for actually, loving the artwork and stuff. So, yeah. And I have to learn to be very upfront with shops when they're not from the podcast or I don't know them. They just email me and they're like, hey, we'd like to collaborate with you. Can we send you a kit? I have to be very clear in my email. Yes, but I need to make a purchase from your shop, or I will be making a purchase from your shop regardless now. And ideally I can at least pick from maybe a selection of kits or have free reign of your entire everything that you offer on your shop, something. But I'd like to have a couple of options. I'd be more hesitant if I was just told, this is the kit we're sending you. Again, I'd probably still do it, but I'd like to have that option. And give them a quick breakdown of the fact that I'm very honest with my reviews. I don't pull any punches. I'm very direct. And most of the time the shop's like, we saw your content and we'd love to. So I'm like, okay, if you truly did see it, then hopefully you're not surprised by how I conduct unboxings and stuff. Very direct. And then maybe even give them a link. Here's a link to one of my more critical unboxings. Let me know if you're still interested in collaborating or something like that. Because it's so easy to want to jump on those quickly and be like, yeah, sure. You know, I feel that way too, because I'm like honored and like, you know, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. So you automatically go to like, yes, yes, yes. But I think I need to consistently remember to say, yes, I'd love to. I'm honored. I'm thankful. However, I have to do this on my terms. And here's those terms. So just know that that's usually how I approach those. And even with the shops that interview on the podcast and I end up being very wooed by them. Like, everyone's been so sweet. I'm like, I'm going to place an order. I still have to let them know, yeah, I'm going to place an order. That's awesome. I love to share some of your products. So if you like to send something, great. But I'm going to be placing an order. And I always tell it like it is. So hopefully shops that interview are on board with that kind of attitude as well. So, yeah, we'll see. But I have a feeling it's going to start happening a little bit more frequently because at least the trend so far is shops have been super nice and super sweet and super kind. And I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. And yeah, of course, we'd love to, you know, feature your products on a future episode or an unboxing or whatever. Just let us know, you know, what kind of content you're hoping for. But I still have to play it by my own books, my own rules too. So that's probably going to mean I'm going to be spending more money on small shops and stuff. I mean, yeah. It's funny. So I'm going to have to carve out some space for more accessories and more things in the new place and dedicate some more. Well, I'm going to have a full crafting room / office now. I think I'm going to make it just my crafting room. I'm going to have a full crafting room, so I should have much more space to put all my things, but probably going to end up with a lot more things because of this podcast. If we keep doing shops. Well, we have other categories coming up too, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, and kind of the impetus for that, and you've seen the FeedLook unboxings, is the fact that I was not in love with. I was in love with pretty much everything about the FeedLook kits. I mean, there's some little things here and there that I'm like, oh, okay, like we really could use a sticker sheet or a legend. We really could use a sticker sheet or a legend, but I've seen it before from other shops not providing it, and I'm able to make it work. You know, I can look at the legend or take a picture of it with my phone, and then I just have it on my phone sitting in front of me while I'm working, or on my tablet. Not the end of the world. I can still work on the canvas without a printed walking legend. And I can print one out on my own if I take a picture and print it, you know. Not the end of the world. However, the fact that they did not provide a pen or pen tip specific for their mini drills, I guess, pissed me off. And I do have to give them grace. They're a new shop, you know, I get it. There's going to be little tweaks and adjustments, but that feels like something very core, a core necessity for the product you're sending. That doesn't seem like on second pass, that would be a nice to have. You simply cannot complete that kit with the toolkit that was provided. Even if you tried using their pen tip that they sent, the drills are just going to get sucked right up into it. You're going to end up having 2 drills bent and stuck inside. It's just too big. And In fact, we'll see what they say in response. So anyway, that kind of tied into the fact that I have to be honest and I have to tell it to you straight about what I'm seeing, even if these kits are sent as PR, which that Hecate was not. But you know what I mean. So hold on. I did send them an email. I put that in the description of the unboxing. I did send them an email today saying, hey, I received my purchase of Hecate and Bloom. Hecate has some mini drills included, but there was no pen or pen tip to place those smaller drills. And so I said I have worked with these mini drills from Diamond Dots in the past, and they provided a specially sized pen for the smaller drills. And I believe it's a necessary tool in order to work with these smaller drills. I said I did in my unboxing, and I think I cut this out of the unboxing because it was super blurry and you couldn't really see, but I took one of the mini drills in my finger and I put it in the pen tip. I put it in the pen tip that they provided. It just fell right in. It just went whoop, just dropped inside the pen tip. And so, yes, you'll have wax, but if you were to put pressure on that drill, it will just go whoop right inside your wax, because the edge of the pen is not touching the drill at all. It's just floating in there. So I told them that, and I said, please let me know if there are any intentions on adding the pen tip or sending pens or pen tips out to those that have already ordered kits with mini drills. Again, I do believe they are a must for mini drills. I'd like to share any updates that you have with my audience during my unboxing of Amaterasu, which is my collaboration kit that they're sending for free. So I'll let you know what I get back, if anything. If I don't hear anything back, then I'll be giving the business again when I get Amaterasu in. In a perfect world, here's what I want them to say. I want them to say that, Dear Anthony, thank you for pointing that out. We did not realize that a smaller pen tip would be necessary, or thought that using the pen tip we provided was sufficient. However, we see what you're saying, and we will be rectifying the situation by putting smaller pen tips appropriate for the mini dots into all of our mini dot kits going forward, and those that have purchased a mini dot kit will be sent a pen or pen tip to use. Who knows? So I emailed them. I'll let you know when I hear back, but I'm kind of glad that I got Hecate and got a mini drill kit prior to getting my free collaboration kit, so I felt able to call it out in the moment and just, tell it like it is. Not that I would otherwise, but I probably would have hesitated. I probably wouldn't have posted my unboxing until I received, had I just received a free kit and not bought anything, I probably would have saved my unboxing and emailed them about it, waited to get a response, and then continued filming, saying, oh, okay, so I'm back, here's what they said, and here's what they're going to be doing about it, if anything, and then take it from there. But I paid for that kit with my own money. I'm not beholden to them. I would have still emailed them. If I had bought them myself, I would still email them and be like, hey, you got to fix this, because this is not cool for people to receive a kit without the proper pen tip to finish it. I probably would have still said something, but it leaves me open to not feel like, well, I should get in front of that for them and give them that opportunity. They sent me what they believe to be a complete product. So that's on them. That's on them. But I did email them. So, oh, look. The first kit, let's do compliment sandwich. I'll end our discussion about look with a compliment. The drills look beautiful. The fairy dust, they're like mica coated drills, look beautiful. They have special drills. The renderings look great. That bloom kit, the first one that I unboxed, I want to work on that thing so bad. The color palette, the amount of color blocking and line blocking and confetti. I mean, it's more confetti heavy, but I don't know, with diamond dots, I'm like, yeah, it's confetti heavy, but there's like fewer colors. I feel like I can work on it faster. So I'm very happy. Hi, look at the cute little baby. Hi. I'm very happy with how everything looks. It's just those darn mini drills. And it's unfortunate that that's the thing that was the trip up, because I think that's a big thing. So, but otherwise, they're non-mini drill kits, like the Bloom, did I say Blossom? The Bloom, look fantastic. I want to start on it right away. But I'm going to wait for Amaterasu, because again, I feel like I should start on the one that I was sent for free. And they're asking for 1 to 2 videos from content creators. So I could just do an unboxing and call it. I mean, they're asking for 1 to 2, but I will do an unboxing, a kitting up, potentially a whip and chat or whip and chats, lives, most likely pop-up lives with it, and then a finish and review. And I'm going to try to get it all done in April. So, yeah. Even with my misgivings, they are still due. They are still due a repayment for sending me a canvas, unless they try to play in my face about that pen tip. I will not have it. So yeah, I also found it interesting. I talked about it on the unboxing. Their toolkit on the bag, they have all these things listed. You're gonna get angled tweezers. You're gonna get a applicator pen. You're gonna get 60 baggies. Yes, they do provide those things. I think they list replacement wax, but then they start talking about additional pen tips, which I'm like, hey, you might want to rethink. You might actually want to put those pen tips, especially if one of them is for mini drills. Additional pen tips, I thought they meant multi-placers. Those weren't in the bag because the pen that they provide cannot accept multi-placers, which I thought was kind of funny, because should it have been a custom pen that they had made for Feelook, they could have absolutely put a spot for a multi-placer on the butt end of that. They absolutely could have had a custom molding done to put a multi-placer on the butt end of that. I think it's just a stock, auto-loading wax pen that they probably bought in bulk, I'm assuming, maybe for like nail art or something. That's what it looks like to me. So I think maybe they found that pen in bulk that they could order, and it is kind of like the Diamond Art Club one, and rather than purchasing a pen that's more practical for diamond painters to use, they picked an option that was as cheap as possible, and probably not even specific for diamond painting, but as close to mimicking what Diamond Art Club offers without having to go the custom route. And you see a little bit of that in their kits as well, with their treasure quest like card. So I see where they've tried to like mimic or match or imitate popular shops, but they kind of didn't get all the way to the finish line with it. Poor things. But it's okay. I think hopefully it works. We'll see what happens when I start putting drills down. But yeah. It was a very, very interesting unboxing. So I was like, huh, what's going on here? But luckily, I think their manufacturer, they get some of their parts from Diamond Dots, and if that is true, I'm surprised that they're resin, because they don't look like Diamond Dots round drills. They look more akin to like a Diamond Art Club round drill, to be quite honest. They look more akin to that. So I was kind of surprised. But if that really is the case, that's where they're getting their resin drills, and Diamond Dots, or whoever Diamond Dots gets their stuff from, I think Diamond Dots makes kits for other shops too, like different like Targets or Hobby Lobby or Michaels or something, but they call them something else. But Diamond Dots is the manufacturer. So it's not anything crazy or out of the ordinary that they would be able to do this. I'm just surprised that they don't look like the round drills I've gotten from Diamond Dots. So maybe Diamond Dots is changing and they have a different resin blend. I don't know if Diamond Dots, I think they were acrylic rounds, but they were very faceted and beautiful. So I'm hoping these still have that similar shimmer, but they don't look the same. They look like a different formula of resin or whatever. So it's curious, but yeah. And then one of the other little rules that I've set for myself is I have, and this is a good thing, I like being in the know, so you know who you are if you're listening. I'm not saying don't do this anymore. I want to hear, but I have to just keep that under my cap. So anyway, someone has been providing me with some shop links for shops that are not on the current list, but has also been providing me some information that from their research or what they've heard of, like, it seems as though these shops use the same manufacturer, these shops all use the same manufacturer, so on and so forth. And as I start to shop from more and more of these small shops and international shops, I'm absolutely going to be bringing up what similarities I'm seeing with the kit in front of me. Oh, this looks a little like Jaded Gem Shop. This looks a little like Dreamer Designs. Oh, this is reminiscent of this. I'm not shying away from that. I think it's an interesting point of info, and by no means does it mean, well, I'm not saying therefore you should just go here instead. No, let's not. It's just interesting, So someone's been sharing that with me, but what I told myself is, I'm not allowed to comment on what looks like this or looks like that until I have purchased a kit from that shop and I have the darn thing in front of me and I'm seeing those similarities with my own two eyes. I have to see it for myself. I can't say, well, I heard, or someone said, or through the grapevine, it appears that this shop gets their stuff from this place, or this shop stuff looks like this shop. Not until I have seen it all in front of me. And I can make those speculations based off my own personal experience. And one reason for that is, if a shop, let's say 5 shops get their stuff from the same manufacturer. 3 of the shops keep it pretty much the same as the stock standard, what comes from the manufacturer. They just either have it drop shipped in exactly what their basic, no frills, packaging, whatever. It's the most basic stock standard way to get the kits out. 3 of them do that, and those 3, when I unbox them, I'm like, oh, yes, this looks familiar. But let's say I get kits from 2 other shops that come in, and they've changed the box style. They've put, this is all extra money, but they've changed the box style, the imaging, maybe they've upgraded the canvas material, maybe the drills are packaged slightly different or something different there. They've changed what's included in the box. So suddenly we've got a little note card or a cover minder or something personalized from the shop. They have chopped and changed that base product to really make it their own and make it unique. And I don't notice. Let's say I do an unboxing and I don't notice that it's from the same manufacturer as A, B, and C. D and E pull the wool over my eyes. In my opinion, good on them. That's how you create that uniqueness and that differentiation and carve a dedicated space out for yourself, in addition to your customer service and the artwork, a catalog that you provide, all of that stuff too. But I do think there's something to be said for creating some individuality within the packaging too. And they could, all 5 of them, A, B, C, D, and E, could all be great to work on and work up just fine. And that's really what's important at the end of the day. And I don't care either. I don't care if A, B, C, D, and E all do look identical. As long as the materials and the quality inside is good, and what I'm actually working up is good, then that's fine. But I think there is this stigma around, we shouldn't be talking about where shops get their stuff from and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I'm not responsible for keeping that secret for them, the shop, if they truly want that to be the case. We don't want people to know where we get our stuff from, but we do get our stuff from the same place as this laundry list of other shops. Then it is the shops, if that is of importance to them for whatever reason. I do get it to a certain extent, but if that is the utmost importance for them and they never want to hear anybody talking about, this looks like this, then it is their responsibility to create that differentiation with their product. So nobody does say that, that's not on me, and that's not on you as the customer to hold those trade secrets. We don't work for them. And even if they've sent a free kit or a PR, we're not employees. I'm not on anybody's payroll. I don't have to do a W-2 at the beginning of every year, so I can talk about what I want. I haven't signed an NDA. So, yeah. If they really want that to be the case, where in the customer's eyes, Diamond Painting Shop it does everything in-house, and there's not a lick of a sign that they're sharing manufacturers, then they have to create that differentiation themselves. What can you do as a shop to make this product its own? And a lot of that's going to be packaging. A lot of that's going to be the information that's printed on the canvas, because even sometimes when I see how a legend is printed, I'm like, yes. That looks familiar. So even how legends are printed, you've got to do a custom font or a custom placement or something. I remember Francesca's Studio Works. Hers was printed, so when you had the canvas upside down, the legend was still right side up. So if you flipped your canvas backwards to work on it, the legend was still reading the same, the right way, smallest to greatest. I freaking loved that, and I don't see that very often. So things like that, really, I could point to Francesca's Studio Works and say, even though that shop is no longer open, I could point to that product and say, I got no idea where she was getting her stuff, because she had really customized her product to the gods. There was nothing in there that looked stock standard. I couldn't tell. Even her heat sealed baggies kind of had a custom shape to them and had the Francesca's printing on them. They weren't just, straight from, a Diamond Dot supplier or what have you. And again, all of that costs money. And to me, that's not really important. What's important is the drills inside the bags and the canvas material, as opposed to what's printed on the canvas as far as legend and stuff and making that unique. But if it's important to the shop and the sentiment is that we shouldn't be talking about that or shouldn't know, it is the shop's responsibility to create that differentiation. If they can't pay for it, if that's what it comes down to, or that's not of an importance, that's fine. That's fine, because what's important is the drills and the canvas, but don't come after me, or don't come after a content creator for saying, hey, this Ever Moment kit looks like Jaded Gem Shop. It is what it is. It's the truth, and I think they're valid points to talk about when reviewing canvases. Apollo, let's go. I think he doesn't want to go home, so he wants to play keep away. And he saw me get the Clippy out. We'll see what he does when he comes back. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to talk about small shops and unboxings and all that stuff, and just kind of, come here, Clippy, where I stand on a bunch of that stuff. That way you know how that content is going to be done going forward. Unboxings and reviews and stuff, not only with what I talk about with new shops. You will hear me, if I notice similarities, mention them. And it doesn't mean it's bad or good, it's just there, it's information. I'll be trying to remember to talk about price point. So how much it retails for, and how much it retails for. And again, if I did receive it for free, of course, I will notate that. Not pulling any punches with what's missing or quality or those types of things, even if it was sent for free. Talking about the international of it all. We're not going to put shops outside of the US in some other category where they are to be distrusted or othered as compared to US shops. I know I can go tit for tat with you on US shops that have pooped the bed that compared to international ones. It's all an even playing field. What matters is what they send, the quality of the product, quality of customer service. It does not matter where they come from, what they look like, what color their skin is, what language they speak. We're not doing any of that on this channel. So keep those sentiments of distrust towards foreigners or whatever it is to yourself. It's not welcome here. And even that word, sorry, I'm picking on this comment, but it's just saying that word foreign or foreigners. I'm like, no. And hey, no. And again, I do love the subscribers. Fine, love them. They've been around a long time, so I'm not trying to pick on them specifically, but I have to set that precedent in case there are others that feel that way, because we're going to be talking a lot more about Asian, Korean shops, Japanese shops. I've been looking up Taiwanese shops, from Europe, all over the world. I've seen the US shops. I've been there. I've done that. Now we're going global, honey. So I just wanted to touch on a few of those things just to kind of set a good starting place, a good base level for a good foundation for us starting to get into some new territory. And I hope that everyone's cool with that. So, and maybe hopefully shops see this too, or those that are considering working with me and I on a podcast might be looking up my content and hear this. So, and I'm fine to telling shops straight up too. So just so they have an understanding of where I come from as a content creator and a diamond painter and a customer, a consumer, where I fall as well. So anyway, this will not be the last time we talk about this. I'm hoping to bring on some shops to have a more in-depth discussion and get their perspective on things as well. So, but I think this is a good starting place. Anyway, we're back to the car. We did not quite the full loop. We cut out a little bit, but not much. So that was probably right around 4 miles. So, all right, thanks for coming along. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of it. Happy placing. We'll see you next time. Bye.